Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the weekly Wednesday for the Financial Freedom newsletter, where every week, every Wednesday, we delve into something inspirational, motivational, something excerpt taken from the Financial Freedom weekly newsletter. Wherever you are, if you're listening on Spotify, on iTunes, Google, be sure to click the like, subscribe, share, comment. And without ado, let's get into the show. Welcome everybody to this week's podcast episode for the Financial Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Luke. And as you know, we talk about 4 different types of freedom: time, financial, location, health. And today we're going to have a guest talk all about financial health, all of her work. Her name is Beth Dana, and she's an entrepreneur, and her mission is to support people in achieving financial consciousness and abundance. So I'll let her introduce herself and welcome her to the show. So Beth, welcome.
Thank you so much, Christopher, for the opportunity to speak with your community about financial wellness. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I know we had connected through Podmatch, and you have I'm always interested in, curious about other entrepreneurs and people impacting the world. So tell us more about yourself, your story, and how you got started.
I mean, it's the work really started. I mean, I can go way back, right? My story and my upbringing around what I witnessed as far as money, and when I can go back. But it really set in place when I was actually in the financial industry. And so I really recognized a lot of things. As much as I was learning while being in the financial industry, I really realized that this was a huge epidemic that, not only did I not grow up with financial education, but a lot of people didn't. And it didn't matter whether you were making a lot of money or not. It was still a thing. And financial wellness is such a huge part in our mental health, our overall health, right? And we're talking to people who are in the medical field, and look at all the stress that's related around money and finances, and how we could really transform physical, mental health when we have a better relationship with money. So that, it really started while I was in the industry, and then just overall, just recognizing just the worldview when it comes to money and finances.
Yeah. It's quite interesting because the typical, the doctor, they think, you're fine, you're a doctor, you're rich, etc. And I know a lot of doctors, they're struggling. They make high 6 figures, but they're just they're burning rubber and red. So tell us more about what you do, and I know you've written a couple of books, and talk about kind of some of the things you commonly see in terms of financial literacy and the trauma around money.
Well, you touch on such a great topic because in the medical profession, let's just say this, right? Because most people in the medical profession are getting paid pretty decent amount of money, but there is a lot of stress, right? Because they're probably still paying on student loans, and that are probably exceeding maybe what they're making. So that's a whole other conversation, right? Too. But the work and teachings of my book series, Make Money Your Partner, is around creating that self-discovery around our relationship with money, really setting a practical foundation, and then also stepping into your vision. And what does that cost? Your vision could cost more than my vision, or vice versa, right? But when I can really get in touch with the reality of my vision and how much that's going to cost, it can be a reality, right? Because a lot of times we hear, if I had $1 million, I'd have the life of my dreams. Well, your life may not really actually cost $1 million. So let's just look at what your life really looks like. Let's paint this picture. And then you start really creating these healthy habits and healthy behaviors when it comes to your life and your relationship with money. So the books are working journals. So it allows somebody to really do the internal work and rediscover their relationship with money and go to these traumas and things that are holding somebody back from taking that next level in their life. Again, you could be making a lot of money, but that doesn't mean anything. Maybe it really is about you achieving inner peace and happiness. That's really what it is, right?
Yeah, it's quite interesting because you have, I'm sure your books are on Amazon where looks like you have 30-day guides, which is really interesting. And I find that when you write things down or journal things, that can help solidify, help clear out some things. And you also have, you also have free resources. You have a blog and all of these. Tell us more about, how they can find you and, get started.
Well, you can go to my website, Beth Dana, on there. You can purchase the books, do the work on your own, or do it with a partner, start a book club and do it within a community. I just encourage you to do the work. The books are an easy way to really start doing the work. But I also understand that sometimes it's a little difficult for people to do things. They need some guidance. And so that's where I have my coaching programs and to really support people in empowering them to that next step. And then there's free resources on my website as well. I have some guides that you can download and utilize, because again, the work you mentioned journals and how important writing is, and people say, well, why isn't this on audiobook? Well, one, it's a journal and journals don't translate to audiobooks. But this is why I also have, I talk about the books a lot so I can guide people through them, because there is power to pen to paper because it's going through us, right? And so there's a lot of healing that's going on in the writing process as well.
Yeah. And what's interesting is you have this interesting quote and you say financial health is restored in two ways. And one is inner work, changing how you think and feel about money, and then doing outer work, which is the practical money management. When you work with clients, what are some examples of thinking and feeling about money from a scarcity mindset versus someone who has abundance mindset?
Well, when somebody comes to me and they have a scarcity mindset, it could look a couple different ways. One, they have a lot of money, but maybe they're holding on to it for fear of losing it. So they have a lot on paper, but their energy is still in lack and scarcity. And then there could be somebody that comes to me and they're looking to up level their income or learn better ways to handle their money, and they're also in a scarcity and in lack energy. And so what it is, it's going to the trauma, it's going to where it is and unraveling that so that they can shift the mindset from scarcity and lack to abundance. And that is in all forms, right? Abundance. When we can really be about abundance in all areas of our life, then we're able to relate with money in a different way. And so that's really what it is. So it depends on the person, but those are two major things that I've always witnessed.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because when you look at like emotional trauma, financial trauma, the mixed messages we get around, because all money is paper and ink, and it's just energy. So, free flow, and it's always abundance, but we're taught that it's very scarce and, we have to work for it and grab it and hoard it. So, which is really interesting when you talk about manifesting and the law of attraction. What are, besides the books, I know you have a podcast as well, and you also have a program. Tell us more about, that so that people can check you out.
I do want to mention about the program. I'll answer that in a minute, but you mentioned something that really caught my attention. And, it goes to what we wrap around money and the identity around it. And a lot of times it's unraveling that. It's unraveling the titles, our identity, our ego that's so wrapped around money that's when the abundance really starts opening up for ourselves in our lives. So there's a lot of ego and a lot of identity that's wrapped around money. Yeah. And so our program, I have two programs. One is a one-on-one where we really dive into somebody's personal relationship from their upbringing all the way to now, that obviously it's a one-on-one experience. We go through the books, and then we have a group online program, and that goes through very similar processes, but of course it's a group setting, and that is actually more entailed with all aspects of life. So the one-on-one, even though, because money touches everything. So what is so great about the work that I do and with my clients is that, yeah, we're transforming your relationship with money and how you see money and how you relate to money, but it's amazing how other areas of their lives transform along the way. Their health gets better, their mental state, there's more confidence, their relationships improve. So it's money touches everything. So that's the beauty of both the programs, is that you're going to see results in all aspects of your life.
And what was interesting was when you talked about ego around money. Tell us someone, like, for example, some of the influences where people said, where we get these. Is it like from media, or just tell us more about that?
I think it's all environment, right? So it could be your upbringing, and it could be pressures from parents or your caretakers. There could be pressure there to get a good education, get a good job, right? But that may not be authentically what your heart's desiring. And so it's really stepping away from all the noise and all the expectations of what other people are saying, and really stepping into what it is that your heart's really calling for. What are you wanting to do? And so it's upbringing, it's household, it's schools, it is the media, right? I mean, social media, I think it's, God, I pray for the young. I pray for the young, because there's so much expectations, false expectations of what people should be striving for. And they think money is the thing, or fame is the thing. And so with that, right, they're driving towards the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And then their spirit is going to get broken. It will. And so it's really, really bringing back the true essence of what money is. It's made for, it's a tool, right? It's a tool to do good things in the world. It's a tool to create the life that you want, not what other people want for you.
Yeah, it's like a resource. What's interesting is, I've studied, because I've had a lot of guests. One was actually a monk. The East, they view money very differently than the West. And West here, we're conditioned that money is a symbol of status, and your worth, and your net. What is your net worth? That's that's kind of, all of these, and then it's like perpetuated by the media with celebrities and all of that. So it's quite interesting when you reverse it, and there's like, it's a resource for you to live your life the way you want to, which is totally disconnected from what we're conditioned. So
right. Yeah. Well, and I can just share with you my personal journey, because I've gone through it all. So, I grew up in a single mother household. I watched my mom really struggle around money, so that shaped my paradigm. I got married, I got divorced, I reinvented myself. And so I've gone through so many cycles in my relationship with money, but each and every time it's healed my core wound that much more. And so my lifestyle now, I had the house, I had the cars, I had the stuff. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I really wasted a lot of money on things, right? And so as my journey, and I like to say, we have like these different levels that we experience in money. And, there's the masses. That's where a lot of us are at for a very long time in our life. And then we go to the mindset. And we really start shifting the mindset around the reality and our mindset around money and in abundance. And then there's the spiritual aspect of money. And that's where the beautiful thing is. And you talk about monks, because I've created such a minimal lifestyle for myself now. It's so light and it's freeing. Like there's so much clarity, right? And so this is what I really hope for people, is to move to that space, to really know that when the money is coming in, you know exactly where it's going, and where it's going, it's making a difference for other people. It's making a difference for you, because the best thing we can do is give. right? Because in that we're receiving, and also investing in ourselves, our personal development, investing in our business, and then investing in real estate, stocks, long term, right? And just really getting connected to where the money is going.
Yeah. Really interesting conversation. Really, kind of talking about the energy around money, and how can people find you, follow you? I know you're on social media. Contact you, check out your books, and check out your podcast and blog.
Yeah, well, you can go to my website again. That's BethLDana. I'm on social media, but I prefer not to be. Like, if I'm going to choose one platform, it is LinkedIn. I just kind of gravitate towards that more. So if you are wanting to stay connected, which I would love to stay connected with you, subscribe to my email community, and I send out weekly emails of great, valuable content, and that's where you're going to find the most value. I really don't care to be on social media too much, to be honest with you. I really want to connect with people in a real, authentic, true way, and so for me, that feels like not that.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is the best for professionals and business owners. So, for all the audience out there, check out Beth's resources. It'll be in the links and show notes. And so, thanks for a great conversation, and we look forward to hearing about your future success.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I hope you really enjoyed that wonderful, inspirational, motivational piece. Again, wherever you are listening, if you liked it, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We're on everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Audible. And without much ado, be sure to thank this show's sponsors, and we'll see you next week.